I really need your help. This video is just an appeal to restore faith in humanity. This lady reached out to me, and I know her because she's been following me for the longest time. And in 2021, she reached out and requested that we meet up. And because she had been DMing me, just checking up on me a lot, I decided, you know what, there is absolutely no harm done. I'm okay with meeting up with her. So we did meet up in Nairobi. We went out for some coffee. And during that time, she shared with me her life journey, her story, and she was doing so well. I mean, her life was just amazing as of that time. She was doing a great business. Her family was stable. She was just expecting her firstborn child. She was living in a very posh estate. Everything was looking so good for her, and I was happy about that. I mean, she actually encouraged me, honestly. And yeah, so fast forward, it's 2025 and she has reached out to me again. She called me a few days ago and she told me she was just calling to check up on me. And so I asked her how she was also doing, and she told me, I'm not okay, Rose. I'm not doing okay. So I asked her what is happening. Well, she mentioned to me it all began last year, 2024, when she lost her mom. And she said she didn't want to tell me then because I also lost my mom. So it would have been a difficult space for us to be in. And so she kept it to herself. So she told me she lost her mom. And immediately after the ceremony, family feud took charge. Her uncles began taking over property that her mother had. And now, because she's the firstborn child, she decided she had to fight for their properties. So she went on ahead and drained all her savings so that she could take these cases to court. Unfortunately, she was fighting against a system that was biased against her, and she ended up losing the case. So, for example, her mom had land, and that land was grabbed by her uncles. They claimed that since there was no title deed, there was no legal proof that the mom owned the land. However, there was a written agreement that that land belonged to her mom. Well, she decided to keep the case in court, and so she ended up selling her properties, her things, valuable stuff. She sold her car, all because she believed in the justice system, that at the end of the day, I'm going to fight for this land and it's going to remain with the family. It's going to be our land. It's going to be what we inherit from our mom. Unfortunately, the system disappointed her. It broke her heart, but she didn't give up then. So she decided to take loans here and there from friends, from Shylocks. She borrowed so much money to keep the case in court, to make sure she keeps fighting for their land. But by the time she was realizing that she was in a losing game, she had lost everything. In the meantime, she's still grieving the loss of her mom. She has lost their properties, the land, she has lost all of that. She's lost rental properties. And worse off, now she's now battling depression amidst a lot of grief. On the other hand, her happy marriage is turning sour. Her husband became very unfaithful, and it became so bad in the sense that diseases were involved. She didn't want to disclose that, but she did mention it was becoming a health hazard towards her. And so she decided she didn't want to stay in the family. She didn't want to stay in the marriage. Unfortunately, by the time she was making that decision, she had endured a lot of violence from that man. There were nights where she slept outside with her babies. It was just unfortunate. And when she realized, I'm going to die if I don't leave this place, it was a little too late. Fast forward, she decided to go back to Haushago. She stays in Eldoret. And so she moved in with the rest of her siblings. They all live together now in Eldoret in a 2-bedroom apartment. And she told me for the last 7 months, she has not stepped out of the house. Reason being, she is being hunted down by the people that gave her a loan. Shylocks are looking for her, Chamas are hunting her down. And one time she stepped out of the house and got arrested by the police, and she slept in a police cell for 2 nights. Mind you, she has a child who is 2 years old, and she has siblings to take care of. So that must have been extremely traumatizing. Once she got out, she vowed to never step outside of the house. And it's 7 months ever since that happened. I asked her, why are you locking yourself in the house instead of trying to figure out a way? And she told me, I have literally no place to begin. I've tried asking for help. I've called my friends that I even helped when I was wealthy. Friends I could easily give 100K and tell them you can have that. I've called them, requesting for their help, requesting for capital, but all of them, they're just putting me aside. Nobody wants to listen to me. And my heart broke for her because, oh God, you can imagine people that you have really put your life on the line for, just turning their back on you when you really need them. And these are even friends that left the country, friends that are abroad, and they've turned their back on her. And so she decided, okay, well, fine, I'm just gonna stay in the house. Well, I asked her how she's been surviving. If you're not working, how are you guys eating? How are you paying your rent? And she told me from her business, the networks that she had made, she made friends from the United States, and these friends have been supporting her. But it got to a point and they just couldn't do it anymore because, well, logically, friends can only help you so much. So for the last 3 months, she's not received any support. She has rent arrears. I have absolutely no idea how they're even eating, honestly. And I asked her, well, you can't hide in the house forever. So what's your plan? How are you planning to move on with your life? And she told me, Rose, I don't know. I've even tried taking poison. And the worst that happened was I only puked for 24 hours and that was it. I didn't die. I really wanted to die. And I asked her, well, now that you didn't die, you have to have a way out. You have to think ahead. So what are you going to do? And she told me, well, from the business that I was doing, I got a contract, but they require me to have capital of 100,000 Kenya shillings, which clearly I do not have. So the contract is pending. And if only I can get that 100K, I'll be able to rise on my feet again, get this contract, and move on with my life. I asked her, okay, then how much loans do you have? What's the balance that you owe everybody? And she told me 230,000. And I thought to myself, locking yourself in the house for 7 months, battling grief, depression for 7 months, only because of 230K. And honestly, my heart just broke for her. I can't imagine how such a wealthy woman, her life has gone down the drain, not because of something she chose. Nobody chooses to lose a parent, But the worst part is the system that she trusted in has betrayed her, has drained her from being a very wealthy person to hiding in the shadows. Her phone number is always offline. She only calls at night because she knows nobody's going to try to call me at night. And so she makes her communications in the night. And during the day, she's always offline. She never steps out of the door. Her siblings don't leave the house. Honestly, I don't understand how she lives. And when she told me this, I don't know. I told her I would really love to encourage you with words, but I feel like there's so much more that I can do for you. And I wish I had that 330K to just channel it to you and get your life going, but I do not. But what I have is an audience that I believe will take up this burden together with me. And we are going to see what we can do for you. She went on ahead to tell me that was the most encouraging thing anybody has done for her, because everybody has just been trashing her. Everybody has been abusing her. She's been threatened. People are cussing at her. Nobody understands that she didn't choose to not pay her debt. It's a system that let her down. And I told her, well, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to let my audience know that I have this burden for you. And we're going to call her Esther. I told her, Esther, I'm going to talk to a few people. I don't know how much we can raise, but whatever amount we raise, I hope it's going to help you get your life back. Well, I requested her to write the messages to me because all of that was through a phone call. And so she wrote me the message and sent me screenshots of the many threats that people are sending to her, which I'm going to attach on the screen so that you guys can also read with me. But I'm just going to read these messages. Aki, nitumie pesa zangu, ulikuja kunitafuta maneno kwangu. Mbona unanifanyia hivyo jamani, kwani shida gani? Kata na hiyo pesa ikusaidie kuanzia leo. Siwezi kukola hata siku moja, but tutatoa mingi kuliko hiyo. Ni pesa utaki kuniekea ama niambie tu nijue. Like, these are messages people are sending her, and it's understandable. She borrowed the money, believing in a system that would help her be able to pay her debt. So, yeah, anyway, let me read to you the message that she wrote to me when I requested her to write down the story. So this is what she says. My name is, I'm going to call her Esther. I'm the firstborn in a family of 5, and throughout my life, things were pretty well until I lost my mom on February 9th, 2024. My mother was a businesswoman who would sell charcoal and groceries since dad passed on when I was 12 years, and I came from a humble background. Grace picked me up, and I was supported by well-wishers in terms of my fees, and I got into business, which was really good. And the turn-up was a breakthrough to my life and my family as well. Since 2020, my business was really well, which would sustain my family and my siblings. And I didn't know losing a parent comes with so much. The land we had did not have a title deed. It only had an agreement. And after the demise of my mother, the brother to my dad came claiming for it, saying he bought the land and we were just caretakers. That's something Mom never mentioned. At first, it looked like a light matter until when it became a court case. We went to court. I used up all the savings I had. I drained my account to zero. I sold everything that was worth for the fight of what was ours. Still not enough. I requested for Shylock loans and borrowed some money from individuals. Little did I know, with all the effort, still we could lose the land, be homeless, and end up in bankrupt. By the time I learned we are losing it, I could not appeal the case, and I accepted the loss. I lost everything, Rose. All this time, my husband was really hard on me. Fights, abuse. There's a point he pulled all my braided hair when fighting. I slept out until 2 a.m. I think he was also under depression because he had lost his job. I would stand all that because it was for better or worse. And a time came and I had to move out of my marriage because of infidelity. I had to take my siblings and my son with me because I felt they were the only immediate people that I could have. Since October 2024, I have been indoors because of financial pressure. Everyone is on my neck. They all need their money back. I have been walking in the dark. Anytime I see someone I owe, I hide. I tried to reach out to friends that I once helped out, but the turn up was so bad. However much I wanted them to help me on credit, no one would come to my aid. At one point, I was spotted by a Shylock person and I was taken to police station on a Friday. You understand how Shylock works. I stayed there until Monday. From that point, I have never moved out of the house completely. I just get pressure over my phone, insults, abuse. They got to a point and I felt I'm done. People who had asked for food and small upkeep stopped giving it to me. Sometimes humans do get tired. I took poison once. I don't know how that thing never worked. Nearly threw up for 24 hours nonstop. I literally got so sick. I don't understand how my health was recovered. Thereafter, I knew God was not yet done with me. And then she sent me a voice note of the one of the threats that she's been hiding from.
I have tried to share my story to you, but I've just shared exactly what I've been going through. So I've even shared the voice note to you. That's from a certain lady who was my best friend. So this lady, I asked her to help me. Akachukua pesa kwa group fulani, akanipea. We trusted each other. She knew me very well. So nikamconvince by all costs. Akanichukulia 30,000 akanipea. I have tried to pay that money, bado tu ananidai zingine zenye zimebaki around 17,000. So I've just shared that voice note to you so that you can even prove to yourself the insults, the abuse I'm getting. But I don't want you to share to other people. Okay, kuna matusi zingine zaidi that they are really even affecting me nikizisikiza. So she paid the money. Alinitext akaniambia mi ni mwizi mkubwa sana. I lied her. Akaenda kwa group yenye yako akachukua pesa akanipatia, na I don't know, should I use like a curse or what, because she said I will never prosper in life. Amenitusi mpaka zile matusi zenye they are, I don't know. Okay, sijui naweza kukueleza aje. I wish I would feel free ningeshare hizo voice note zote kwako, but ni matusi kubwa sana zenye siwezi hata penda mtu asikie ati mimi nilitusiwa hivyo. So nimekuwa through insults, abuses, nimetukanwa, ile kutusiwa kweli kweli, ile matusi ile mbaya yenye mtu hata huwezi expect anaweza toa kwa mdomo wake. That lady even took me to the area chief concerning your pesa. Tuka agree na the area chief nimlipe hata kidogo kidogo, but hata hiyo kidogo kidogo I cannot manage it. So currently I owe her like 17,000 out of the 30,000. Nilikuwa nikimpea kidogo kidogo, anything I get na jinyima nampea, lakini sasa ilifika point I can't even get any little. So anyway, that is it. I've just decided to share that one voice note because I just thought naweza tu share hiyo. Zingine ni very dangerous. Matusi zingine they're really bad. It's not something that I can share it to anyone. And for that voice note, I would not love you to share it because ni sauti ya mtu na inani affect. So I don't even think I'll ever come in public and share it, but I've been just telling myself one day when I settle all this, I'll look for these individuals and talk to them. Na niwaeleze tu haikuwa kupenda kwangu, I do all that. But whichever the case, I'm really sorry for what I've made them go through. There are so many ways that people handle their anger. Wengine watanitusi. For me, I understand that I forgive them because I'm the one who have made them get into, that path. Huyu msichana ikifika mwezi wa 8, it will be already 1 year I've stayed with her money. So for me, I understand she has every reason to get angry because nilimweka kwa situation ngumu mpaka ikabidi alipe hizo pesa na faida. Yeah.
Basically, Guys, I really want us to help her. I'm not asking you to contribute 1,000. I'm not asking for 500. I'm only asking for 50 shillings. If each one of you can just contribute 50 shillings, or maybe you want to give 100, 200. If we bring our power together, I believe we can be able to raise this 330 that she requires so that we can get her out of the dark. Please, if you're watching this and you've caught the burden as much as I have, I just ask you, just stretch out your hand, give the little you can. If 20 shillings is what you can afford, I'm sure she'll appreciate that. I can't disclose her phone number, so she has told me to use my phone number. But I told her I'll do that on condition that once we hit the target, she's gonna come on here and say, finally, my head is above the water. And this is my testimony that you guys helped me and my life is back on track. So please, if you are feeling what I'm feeling for her, I hope you can do something about it. Of course, I'm going to be the first person to contribute towards her. And the M-Pesa balance that I have is 102 shillings, and that's what I'm going to start with. You want to give more, you want to give less than that, whatever it could be, I promise you every single coin that gets into this number is going to get to Esther. And afterwards, I will go to Eldoret personally. And that's a journey that I'm going to share with you guys. I'm going to go to Eldoret. I'm going to meet her and her siblings, and I'm going to transfer that money to her and then have her come on here and give her thanksgiving. And for everybody that does that, I pray God that is going to help you. I pray He's going to refill you, and I pray that He's just going to make sure you never lack in any way. Let's help Esther get out of the shadows. And this is my humble request to you, my viewer. Thank you so much.